Hey y'all, it's Damien at Ritual Sound. I'm here at the workbench. I want to show off a few of the pedals I've been building here in 2026. I hope your winter's going well. Kind of ready for the winter to be over and get to spring. Anywho, first up we have a dual rectifier gain stage, the distortion from the Mesa dual rectifier. This is a PCB done by PCB Mania. It's a very fun build to do, very simple. I'm 2 for 2 out of this build. Not very complex. It was the first pedal I built for myself. If you want to get that Mesa sound, but you don't have $2,000 to spare for a tube amp, go for one of these. I could build you one for really cheap. You can put the case however you want. First up, I'm going to demonstrate this. Let me drop tuning real quick. Alright, so that's the Mesa DR. It's a very fun pedal. They have an ability to return and send through another EQ if you'd like, right up the top here. So you can add EQs to this. So you can actually get the diesel EQ, add it to the Mesa DR, which I will be doing here in the future, to give you more of a Adam Jones's Tool sound without $6,000 worth of amps in one box. It's not going to be a cure-all, but it'll get you closer. Next up, we got the Sqr Diaz Square Face clone again, this time in a smaller unit, or in a smaller case. Got the external trim pot instead of internal, because sometimes you might want to change from a single coil Strat to a humbucker Les Paul. This will choke the voltage getting to the transistor, allowing you to dial in the exact kind of tone you want. I believe this to be the mod that Zoothorn Rollo used with Captain Beefheart during his jam sessions with, Mothers of Invention and Zappa and all those 67 through 70 years. We're going to get right into it. Let me tune back up. Already you can see on the right, it does that choked out sound. Kind of a busted radio sound. And more voltage. So let's get back to the single coil stuff. You roll the volume back on the guitar a little bit to get that glassy tone. Let's move on to the rangemaster. First, actually, let's kick on the rangemaster with the fuzz. You might be wondering, what is the rangemaster? Well, the rangemasters are initially something that would sit on top of your amp. They didn't have a foot switch and they didn't have this capacitor input selector. Just a knob and the on-off switch. Inside this one we have a BC797 germanium. You notice there's a little bit more bite to it, a little bit more gain, sharp attack. Very clean if you want to play clean. That's with my thumb. Pull the volume back on this one as well on your guitar, and it cleans up quite a bit. Let's go back to the clean with no effects at all. This is my Crate Power Block amp. So nothing to write home about there. Knock this thing on and all of a sudden so it's a fun one. Let's mess with the switch a little. The input capacitor at the bottom is 100 NF. If we go up to the mid, it's a 10 NF. You notice there's less bass. So this germanium transistor inside this is boosting all the signals that come through, and this is changing how much signal's coming through, how much bass. And then high is a 4.7N. Notice it's humbucker and single coil. It's very it picks up a lot on your dynamics, on how heavy you play, how hard you play. And what's at the start of the line is this. You want this to interrupt between your guitar and your pedals. Otherwise, it's not really going to benefit your sound very much. Let's move on to a different germanium transistor. This is the NTE 103A, which you saw, or which you heard in the fuzz I just showed you. If we take it off the old one, or the 797, you'll notice this one doesn't have as much gain. With the humbucker. Let's go to the old one. So you see the red one has more of a smooth, rounder, spongier attack to it, and this has more of a bite to it, which is probably what you'll be looking for out of rangemasters. So silicon will even give more gain and more bite, but I like this BC797. It kind of gives you the best of both worlds, silicon and germanium characteristics. Let's go back to the 103A. We'll mess with the switch. Let's back up the boost. Alright, you might be wondering, what does it sound like with two rangemasters? Well, it starts to get crunchy. Now this is the fuzz. You can see this doesn't break up as much. It just kind of gets into that overdrive territory where this singly this is usually a boost. Now let's try the Mesa that we started the film with and a rangemaster. So, if you like the first two Queen albums or the first two Black Sabbath albums, these rangemasters are what you really need. It's a crucial thing in your setup if you want to get that Iommi Sabbath Now, if you like Black Sabbath and Queen albums after their first two albums, you would want to do silicon transistor in a rangemaster. But either way, Tony Iommi and Brian May used rangemasters, and the same thing happened to both of their units. They got thrown out on the road by a tech who didn't think they were doing much. But little did we know, it ended up drastically altering the way the albums came out after the first two albums. That's about all I have to say. I think I've shown you everything I wanted to today. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.